Hey, good evening, everyone. A few things to note for those in the room. Coffee's probably going to run out during our program, so just wave down one of our great wait staff and they'll make sure it's refilled. For those in the 125 we have in the room, a round of applause for our great front of the house and back of the house team. And welcome to our 50 virtual attendees via Zoom. I'm Matt Lowy. For those who don't know me, I have the honor and privilege of serving as your chapter president, and welcome to our 2025 Member Appreciation Night. And I'll turn down the echo. It would help if I turned it on. Okay, and our rich chapter history, we've been around for 21 years. So we started at Normandy Farm in Potomac. Unfortunately, after the pandemic, Chef Carey, the owner and Chef de Cuisine, had to sell the property. They did sell to a popular restaurant group that has several places in Washington, D.C., but they haven't had a big priority to change the space in their vision yet, but hopefully that'll be open again in the coming years for those who have good memories. Okay, for those who noticed out front, we had a great turnout for our holiday food drive, so we thank everyone for bringing in items. If you forgot or now wasn't a good time, our friends at Manna Food Center will accept your donations at a later date as well. And we're honored and privileged to have their executive director, Mr. Craig Rice, here this evening. So we'll bring him up to share a couple comments about where Manna is. So a round of applause for Mr. Rice.
Thank you very much, Matt, and thank you to all of you. I'm not going to go on too long because I think that what I have to say is pretty simple. People should not go hungry. And in a county like this, in an area like this, especially so, it is incredibly troubling to see so many individuals that are coming to our doors, more than we've ever seen before, like 2 service members in uniform from Fort Meade who showed up at our doors saying that their commanding officer said, these are a list of food banks in the area and go find one that works for you. And they came to our doors because we were one of the farthest away from Fort Meade, and they thought that they would have a better chance of being able to get food because there'd be less competition with some of their other fellow service members who were also fanning out to food banks all across the region. I want to make sure that folks understand that the people we serve are the people who are hardworking individuals like yourself, who may have met an incredibly challenging time in their lives. And I'll give you the example of the woman who had achieved self-sufficiency. She utilized our services back in 2017 and then stopped using our services in 2021. But we heard from this woman in May of this year, and she asked for assistance again. And when our call center asked what changed, she said she worked at USAID. She was not an employee of USAID. She cleaned the building. And we need to understand the ramifications of the decisions that we make and how they impact so many in our community and oftentimes those that are forgotten. Many understand and know that when a large building like USAID closes, there's not a lot of other cleaning contracts that a large company might be able to do. That woman was the breadwinner of the family. Her husband worked as a gig worker, working for contractors, working and doing landscaping. But the incredibly troubling thing is they had 2 children and she carried the health insurance. These are the kinds of things and the stories that we continue to see. And while we cannot feed ourselves out of the problem, we can try and help families as they try and navigate. It's interesting when it comes to food insecurity. I'll share with you something. The Capillary Food Bank just came out with a recent report, and these are 2024 numbers, folks. This does not include DOGE cuts or layoffs. This does not include tariffs. This does not include the government shutdown. Does not include an economy that continues to ebb and flow. 1 in 3 Montgomery County residents are food insecure. 35% as of 2024. That means that over 380,000 residents here in this county need food assistance at some point throughout 1 month. That's how we measure food insecurity. The staggering number is that 52% of those individuals are what we call severely food insecure. Those are the individuals who actually need food every week. So if we have 10 people at the table, 1 of you, on average in Montgomery County, is severely food insecure. That's a lot. And it's continuing to grow. We are a nonpartisan organization. We don't talk politics, but I talk facts. And the fact of the matter is that if we continue down a path of making it more expensive for individuals and provide less services for individuals, there is a breaking point. We can only do so much as a food center. You are doing a part in helping us to try and meet that need. But when we look at how organizations are structured, food banks, in comparison to SNAP dollars, are supposed to provide 1-to-9 ratio. That means 9 meals provided via SNAP dollars for 1 provided by a food bank. So regardless of the shutdown, regardless of SNAP being paused for right now, or not paused, or paused again, or I try and keep track in watching the news and what the administration is saying versus whether SNAP is on or not on. The reality is, regardless of that, keep in mind with HR 1 that was passed, SNAP benefits will reduce at a minimum half for so many of our residents that are severely food insecure. That means that I would have to quadruple my output to meet that need for those families. Quadruple. I don't know about you, but any of you who own businesses, work for businesses, tell me tomorrow if you're going to be able to change and quadruple your output. It's impossible. I want you to understand what it is that we're facing, because I not only need food, but I need advocates. I need people to talk about what's happening in our community and why it's going to affect each and every one of us. If people can't afford food, they can't afford to shop. If people can't afford food, they can't afford healthcare. If people can't afford food, they're struggling when it comes to educational attainment, whether that's certifications, whether that's going to college. The very workforce that you hope to be able to bring in to your companies, to your organizations, are dependent upon all of these systems working. We are the canary in the coal mine. It doesn't start with food insecurity. That's just what shows up. What really is happening is behind the scenes. You got people that are becoming less healthy in a time in which we're saying we're making America healthy again. You got people that are less employed and underemployed and undereducated in a time in which we're saying we're making America great again. This isn't politics. This is real. We have to ensure that there are policies that are there that continue to lift us up, because we will suffer as a result. Net migration, and I'll close with this. I don't mean to get too much into being wonky, but I just heard a presentation from the Stephen Fuller Institute when I was with the Chamber of Commerce 2 nights ago. Net migration in Montgomery County has continued to decline over the course of the past decade. Stagnant job growth and stagnant housing have eliminated our growth as a community. And so as a result, that means that all of these things, health insecurity, food insecurity, lower educational attainment, all of those kinds of things are products of an environment that has no growth. So what are we going to do about it? Are we just going to sit by and say that this is okay for us, that that's what we want? I'm born and raised here in Montgomery County, and I know that we not only deserve better, but can do better. We owe it to all of us as a community to make sure that we're a better place in lifting up those individuals and ensuring that we have better outcomes and better futures for our future generation. I appreciate the fact that you've taken the time out to learn a little bit more about Manna, but more about what it is that we believe in. We believe in more than just a meal. While it is important to feed individuals in a time of need, it is also just as equally, if not more important, for us to address the systemic issues that allow for people, children, seniors, those who have differing abilities in our community to go hungry. None of you will go home tonight and say, yeah, that's okay. And I know that because none of you believe that. None of the elected officials believe it either. But unfortunately, I think they're stuck in some of the things that they want to do with political games to try and do whatever it is that they believe they need to do. But we, the people, can actually tell them that that's not what we want. We have to demand a better system. We have to demand better outcomes. We have to demand a better society and a better community. One that ensures that people have opportunity for success. Success isn't guaranteed to everyone. Opportunity should be. So I thank you for your support. I thank you for everything that you have done in lifting up Manna. Your food, your caring, your love will make a tremendous difference in terms of showcasing for people who are struggling right now, who are dealing with the fraught of finding a job, finding health care for their families, and putting food on the table. You will make a difference for them. Don't take lightly the impact that you are making. And I hope that we will do a little bit more in making sure that we can continue to push to make sure that no person in Montgomery County goes hungry. Thank you very much, guys.
And for those not familiar with Manna, it's just right around the corner on Shady Grove and Gaither, across the street from the big indoor skydiving. As we've done in years past, I'll take a selfie next to the bin so you know the food got there, and we'll show that tomorrow. Okay, we'll let the book raffle begin. We have 2 signed copies of Malcolm Gladwell's new book, Revenge of the Tipping Point. He spoke at Sixth and I Synagogue last week, so if everybody wants to pull out their tickets. For as brilliant of a mind as Mr. Gladwell has, his signature needs some work, but this is his signature. So, so we have 2 signed copies. Last 4 is 7533. Any winners? I think everybody's here. 7533? No? Okay, how about 7610? Hey, we got a winner. Yay. Last call for 7533. Oh, you had it? Okay, great. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. No, you got it. We had two. No 7533. Okay, how about 7573? Oh, great. Okay, they're both our winners. Karen, could you help? Thanks. Okay, our nomination window to join our chapter board. Round of applause for all our board officers. If you guys want to stand up. Reluctantly. Okay, so we'll have an election ballots out later this month, and then make those announcements at our December meeting. But Vice President Marketing and Vice President Innovation Technology are new positions. Our apologies to some who struggled with registration. During the winter break, we're going to switch hosting companies, but that Vice President Technology would definitely help make sure our comms are reliable. And then Vice President Communications and Special Projects is also open as well. So stay tuned to the newsletters for that. Our next Mass PDU virtual event should be Tuesday, November 18th. This will be from the county to Capitol Hill, project management in the public arena. I think there is some optimism among those who are furloughed or affected by the government shutdown that we may be back in the game, me included, maybe next week. So your first day back at work may not be a good idea to say I have a all-day training. So we're gonna keep tabs on this. The date may move in December because we want to make sure everybody's set up for success. But registration's open. If we do move the date, if you register before, you'll carry over to that new date. For those familiar with AFCEA, their AFCEA DC holiday tradition of the big winter gala banquet at the National Building Museum. If you're a Department of War employee or have a .mil email address that's not associated with the contractor, you have an opportunity for a free ticket. It's a great event. That's Thursday, December 12th. And then Saturday, February 21st, in the new year, it'll be the Saturday after President's Day, is the annual Project Management for Change Project Management Day of Service. So we'll start asking for volunteers right after the new year to be a part of that. Okay, next month, we're happy to announce our continued tradition of our December $10 holiday special. So this will be a little bit different. It'll be a plated 3-course meal, but still for $10. And that'll be Mr. Victor Bellarmino from Malinani, talking about the ever-changing landscape for project managers and how it shaped his personal evolution as a project manager. So that would be the first Wednesday of December. During the month of October, first month of the fiscal year, for those furloughed, a lot of people pass their PMP exam. A few passed their new certified project manager of AI. For those who have been here the last 2 months, I thought I'd be in that company, but we had 3 that were, but not me yet. So we'll see if my furlough motivation can get up in the next couple of weeks. So, and then people are still getting the Agile Certified Practitioner and the Certified Program Manager. For those at the edge of their seat for the next edition of the PMBOK, you only have to wait till January 13th. And the key chapters are value delivery system, principles, life cycles, performance, domains, and tailoring. The table of contents is out there now if you really want to look, but we'll bring in one of our educational partners to brief on how the changes to the PMBOK and how project management's being done today is going to affect future exams. Does anybody have a job that they want to promote for their companies? Okay. Raise a show of hands from who needs a job or who's looking. Okay. So keep those people in mind as the program concludes. If you guys could stay after, And then if you at least want to offer some mentoring, if you don't necessarily have a position, that'd be great. If you need PDUs, we're one of the few chapters in the whole global PMI that posts all of our content, or as much as we can, that's approved on our YouTube channel with PDU claim codes. So if you need some background noise, this is good for that. But yep, and tonight's session will be posted tomorrow. So we're also one of the few chapters in the world that have our own sister Toastmasters group. So we'll welcome those reps for a quick 60-second elevator pitch. Back corner. And we can all improve on our public speaking. Even Tony Robbins and the greatest public speakers we have in the world attest to that, and Toastmasters is great. So welcome to their leadership.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sapri Kaur. I am the VPE for the PMI-Montgomery County Toastmasters Club. And I'm just going to make this very quick for us before I introduce Alan. And he can kind of give you a little bit more information about Toastmasters. But in general, very quickly, for our club, we meet on the second, third, and fourth Wednesday of the month. Second and fourth Wednesdays, we meet virtually on Zoom. And then the third Wednesday, we meet in person at Rockville Library. And I will, if anyone has any questions, Alan and I will be staying a few minutes after. So if you want to come find us, you guys can find us. And let me turn it over to Alan.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Alan, again. So I'm the VP of PMI Montgomery County Toastmaster Club. I hope you are enjoying the dinner tonight. November is the month of Thanksgiving. It has been observed as a National Gratitude Month since 2015. So what I learned is that people who practice gratitude have stronger immune systems, lower blood pressure, higher level of positive emotions, and less feeling of loneliness and isolation. So in other words, those people live happier, healthier, and longer. So for those good reasons, I want to give thanks to PMI Montgomery County chapter. Thank you for this wonderful dinner. The food is getting better and better every month. And thank you for this special event and also the monthly event where we all learn project management in the real world and connect with our peers. And thank you for supporting our Toastmaster Club. And this forum has made my job much easier because it is a major source of new members. Yes, people do sign up after the meeting. Thank you for that. I want to give special thanks to my Toastmaster Club, where I learn from the seasoned speakers, practice my own public speech, and receive valuable feedback. Nearly 2 years ago, I couldn't imagine that I would be standing here and talking to you almost every month. And I couldn't imagine that I would be competing at the Toastmaster International Speech Contest. Thank you. Thank you. Even though English is not my native tongue, even though I lack cultural context, with guided preparation and practice, I can still gain confidence and improve my communication skills one meeting at a time. In today's competitive job market, having technical skills alone isn't enough, especially for our project managers. It is our ability to communicate, connect, and lead with confidence that set us apart. Employers aren't just look for talent. They are looking for someone who can influence, inspire, and get the job done. So I truly believe that Toastmasters can really give us this edge. And our members are super motivated to help each other to overcome challenges in communication, leadership, and every stage of their career. So join us either online or in person and check out how we may support your next move. Thank you.
Okay, our sister chapters are still doing good things. PMI-WDC has their annual meeting at top of the town in Arlington, right overlooking the Iwo Jima Memorial. PMI Baltimore has some things in the hopper, and then Silver Spring is offering a holiday bowling celebration 2 Saturdays from now. So you don't have to be a member of their chapter to participate in some of these things, and you can kind of see how other chapters operate. So in the spirit of our featured speaker, Miracle on 34th Street strategy of marketing them, and hopefully they'll return the favor to us. Our education partners are still doing great things. As soon as the PMBOK does come out, they'll be ramping up that to provide that training. You state of the chapter items right now, our current membership totals a little less than 2,000. At the start of the year, we were a little less than 1,900, so that's around a 10% increase, but we still haven't gotten steady over that 2,000 number. As you can see, before the pandemic, we were over 2,500, but I think all professional associations took a little bit of a hit post-COVID, but we're doing our best to try to drive that up. So more word of mouth from, did everybody have a good experience tonight so far? Okay. So tell your colleagues, tell your coworkers, if you took any pictures, post them on LinkedIn. Most publicity is good publicity. So. And then our active members with certifications is about 75% of the chapter. So there's still around 500 that don't have a PMP, don't have the CAPM, the entry level PMP yet. So we're trying to drive that number up as well. And then for those, round of applause for those who participated in our summer virtual education day. Okay. So hopefully that was a good event. We got some good feedback on the survey, more AI and project management. So that'll be coming in our 2026 program year. We try to do a good job of balancing soft skills and hard skills and more technical with more leadership and servant leadership. So more of that to come. Okay, now our main event for the evening. We're lucky enough to have the featured speakers for tonight is Mr. and Mrs. Claus. They're the world's best project managers for the last 200 years. Most living people don't have that distinction. They're the decider of the non-denominational nice and naughty list for everyone. And they're our treasured guests this evening. So I think I hear some bells jingling. So Mr. and Mrs. Claus, are you here?
Hello, everybody. Hello. Mrs. Claus, I have a problem.
Now what?
You told me there were going to be children here. All I see are adults.
Oh, no, Santa, this is a very important meeting. And this is Montgomery County PMI, and it's the appreciation meeting. So, yes, they're all adult.
Oh, was that on my calendar? Oh,
We scheduled it.
that elf again. What is Bernard doing now?
You know, Bernard.
Well, I can look around here and I can see people that are tired. There's no holiday spirit here. So, do we?
How many days until Christmas?
49.
Oh.
Oh, look, people. You are so lethargic. I am going to ask you all to please stand up. We're going to do a little call and response and a couple of other things. Got to build the energy. Come on. Come on, get up. It's not going to take that long. Mrs. Claus, would you please stand over here?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you're going to have to do the motions. I'll say it.
Okay.
I say jingle, you say bells. Jingle, bells. Jingle, bells. Jingle, bells. I say milk, you say cookies. Milk, cookies. Milk, cookies. Milk, cookies. I say Merry, and you say Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. They're still lethargic.
Maybe we should dance.
Oh, that would be good. Okay, everybody, let's do the reindeer Macarena. You know how to do that, right? What? I'm looking at the stunned people. Okay, come on. All right, you hold this and I'll do the reindeer Macarena. You ready? Dasher, Dancer,
Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donder, Blitzen, Rudolph.
Okay, come on. Let's all do this. Come on. It's easy. Dasher, Dancer,
Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donder, Blitzen, Rudolph.
That's a move. This is a move. This is a ring. Okay. Okay, one more time.
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donder, Blitzen, Rudolph.
Now you want to see me do it backwards? Dasher, Dancer. Cupid, Donder, Blitzen, Rudolph. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Now we got
Yay.
the spirit. All right. I'm glad to see. You can go ahead and sit down now. You're all worked out. You've had that dinner. Now you've run your desserts. Okay, come on. All right. Now, I don't know about you, Mrs. Claus, but I'm I'm from the South, and I was told you take off your hat and your coat when you come in. So if you don't mind, I'd like to take my hat and coat off. Would you like me to do that? Okay. Yay. Take my gloves off too. Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Claus. All right. Let's get down to business here. What you just saw was what we typically do in a entry performance into a corporate event, private, whatever. Sometimes we do this to a home visit. But let's talk about PMI and project programs. So let's go. I'm assuming forward. All right, before we start, let's honor our veterans. The Marine Corps is Monday, Tuesday is Veterans Day. So would you please have all the veterans stand up? And let's give them a round of applause. And for those of us that are in the Marines, hoorah! Forward. There we go. Believe it or not, we were working a haunted house last week. And I actually had some kid come through wearing a Santa outfit. So I thought this was kind of appropriate. So, yes, It is turkey season, although I know there's some turkeys out there. We're apolitical, but I'm not going to mention any names. And here's the problem we face. Halloween, then Christmas, then New Year's, and then Thanksgiving, New Year's, boom, 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 boom. It all gets together. And it's really bad for us. So you can go ahead and sit down. No, she doesn't need to be up here to do this. I'm doing this. So, project or program? PMI says project temporary, specific date and state. Program, multiple related projects. That's what we seem to be doing. And we manage in a coordinated effort. So let's see if we're actually a program or a project. How about that? So we do a little analysis. Of course, being a good manager, I went out and looked when I first started. 33 million people in the United States, approximately. And 110,000 performers. You know, that's a lot of people to see one person. And what we get, most of the performers are retired, although we do have some others that are like clowns that do this during the winter. Specific for metro area, again, the numbers are the same or pretty close to it. Pretty close to one Christmas performer for 10,000 people. So, needless to say, are we busy? So, like anything else, I looked into the Santa background. And you get Queen Charlotte in 1760. Then you have Washington Irving, who wrote The Knickerbocker, Dietrich Knickerbocker History of New York. Now you got to remember, before the Dutch were there, and they had a person called Sinterklaas. Sound familiar? Then you have Clement Moore wrote the Visit from Saint Nick, and that, of course, really took Sinterklaas and changed it into Santa. Didn't know you were getting a history lesson, did you? So Dickens wrote A Christmas Carol. Then you have Prince Albert and Queen Victoria did A Christmas Tree. Everybody had to follow the king and queen, right? James Reed did Mrs. Claus, and that was 1849. And then Thomas Nash, he's the one that actually sort of put together the Santa Claus look, made it popular. And then you have Harold Stasseville. That's the Coca-Cola guy. So Coke, of course, really did their thing. So what does Santa look like? Well, according to Miller, dressed in fur, bundle of toys, peddler, eyes twinkled, dimples merry, cheeks rosy, nose like a cherry, mouth drawn up like a bow, beard white as snow. Well, maybe not white, but that's okay. And then a broad face, round belly, and it shook like a bowl full of jelly when he laughed. Ho, ho, ho! Did I push the red button? There we go. Okay, here's what Nash decided Santa looked like. Please note, let me get my pointer out. Da, 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 da. Notice he's wearing a Union suit during the Civil War. And according to Nash, Santa lived in Clausville, North Pole. Of course, that was the only time, as far as I know, that they've actually named the North Pole. But Santa, what does he do? Ooh, naughty and nice. Delivers the toys. Ah, yeah, labor negotiation, cookie tasting. That's one I really like. Got to carb up, got to carb up. Livestock management, that's for the reindeer. Gift shopping and delivering. And then I love the last one, the sleigh. I actually have a sleigh license. And no, it's only valid on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So what does Santa look like? Let's see here. Here we have a black Santa, another black Santa. This guy is Isa. He's from Israel. He's Muslim. And he's riding a camel. He says that the kids come over and he doesn't care whether you're white, black, green, whatever. You get candy just like anybody else, and the kids flock to him every year. Pretty good looking Santa right here. Pancho Claus. He's in San Antonio. Robert Shooter, that's Santa True. And who's on the end? I can't quite make that out. Anyway, there's another one there. So you can see we're pretty much the same. Okay, there we go. So the suit itself, you have two basic styles. A Howard suit, and you get the Coca-Cola, which instead of the fur down the front, you get the buttons. But here's the problem. It's not just the suit. You got the belt, the buckle, the killer down here at the bottom, handouts. The kids expect something. Used to be candy canes. Not so much anymore. Most people don't want candy canes. They want the little round mints or something like that. Well, the kids, especially the boys, decide they're swords, so they're going to fight with each other. And here's the cost. Off the rack, it can be up to $1,200. And if you make it custom, $4,000. And of course, no matter what you do, you don't want to look cheap. Trust me, we're not cheap. This is the other problem. You can't have just one. So I have a parade coat. That's what you just saw me wear. I've got a vest. And of course, you have to have something because Santa doesn't wear the suit all the time. I've had kids, well, Santa, where's your suit? I don't wear the suit when I'm working in the shop. Do you wear a suit when you're wearing in the shop? No. Do you wear a suit to school? No. Okay, neither does Santa. And of course, here you have variation on a theme. Uh, Business suit. Would you have thought of that? I know I didn't until I saw it. Here is a pirate. Notice he's got a little claw, which is a candy cane. Let me see. Oh, for those of you, there's the LGBTQ and Texas, Santa. Well, come on. Everything's different, bigger, and broader in Texas. It's a whole nother country. And of course, now we go to you, ladies. Mrs. Claus. So here we have some varied looks. The tall one in the middle, the tall one there on the end. Let me see here. This one. That's a catalog. That's what you're supposed to wear? No. I have never seen a Mrs. Claus look like that, nor wear anything like that. They all sort of look, Santa met Mrs. Claus in 320 AD. Come on. I'm not asking her how old she is. Santa was is born in 147 AD. So come on. I'm older than her. I was robbing the cradle. Come on. So what does Mrs. Claus do? Here is some of the things. It really started in 1849, and of course, then you have down here coming to town, and it is different. Mrs. Claus, in charge of the North Pole. That says it all, ladies. So don't let Santa tell you otherwise. She maintains the naughty and nice list. Santa only checks it. Remember that. I only check it. Audits my expenses. Oh my, oh my. We've had some arguments over that, especially when Santa needs a new suit. New cookie recipes. Santa tastes them. Now, I got to tell you, Mrs. Claus, please come up here and let's describe this one quickly. She decided I needed to lose weight, so she was going to make some healthy cookies. Broccoli and asparagus cookies.
I thought that that was a good idea, and they were quite tasty.
Yeah, the reindeer liked it. However, you got to remember, where am I sitting on the sleigh? What's in front of me? Yes. So I was the beneficiary of the results of that, but
The aurora borealis was amazing that year. There were purples and oranges and greens everywhere, Santa.
thank you.
But we know that cookies are a really important part of the tradition, so everyone has a favorite kind of a cookie.
Yes. Okay, by show of hands here, who likes chocolate chip? It's pretty much snickerdoodle. Oh, you voted twice. That's okay. I like snickerdoodles too. Okay. What others do we have? Sugar cookies. There's a bunch over there. We have that. And oh, I know. How about the plum flavored cookie? No one likes that?
What about the love one another cookie?
Oh yes. Anybody like a love one another cookie? Never heard of it? Oh, you'll have to ask Mrs. Claus for that recipe, ladies. It's a real good one. Your men will love it.
What about ginger cookies?
Oh, gingerbread. Ginger snaps? Yeah, okay, a few of those. Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Claus, for that.
What's on the table anyway?
The table?
There's some things on the table at everybody's place.
Oh, yeah, okay. She wants me to address this. Each one of you at the table has gotten a coin, a little plastic coin. That is a special coin. You put that out with the milk and cookies when you get ready to put that out. By the way, the milk curdles, so either leave it very cold or in a container with cold something around it, or you can do like they do in Scotland and use scotch. The South, no, I'm sorry, in the Caribbean, they use rum. Brandy is good. I think brandy was in France. Uh, you know, tequila also works. But, you know, you put that out, and that will remind Santa that you have seen him. And if you are extra good, extra nice, all year long, you might get an extra present from Santa. Please note the conditionals there. I know some people in government that would never get it. Well, I don't know them personally. I know they're on the list. So, Mrs. Claus, what does she do? She supports Santa. And she does do some solo work. So, mostly we do duos. Every now and then we do solos. I have a couple of solo events, and Mrs. Claus has a couple of solo events. That's always nice, especially if they're in the same area. Unfortunately, sometimes they're not. But that's okay. We got two. Santa has a sleigh, and Mrs. Claus has a sleigh too. So we can go from point to point. Here are the Mrs. Clauses in Santa. Ladies, who's that gentleman right there? Kurt Russell, ladies. Who's this gentleman right here? Tim Allen. So, I mean, these are the looks that you see, and you can see that the outfits try to be matching. Sometimes they're not, but you never know. Yes, we have a budget. Unfortunately, it's not as big as they think it is. So, I guess I can play this later. This was from 1970, I think it was. So, training. There are 47 schools in the United States to teach people how to be Santa. 47. That's just the United States. Almost every country has at least one other. Howard School is the oldest. C.W. Howard was the Macy's Santa way back when. Cherry Hill runs the malls, basically. And no, even though they advertise it, put a suit on and we'll pay you, wrong answer. You need more than that to know. There are questions you have to answer as Santa. Santa Claus, Tim Cunningham, is Toys for Tots. Santa. Robert Shooter is Santa True. There is a series of videos out there from Santa True on whether Santa is real or not. And he gives a great performance. Trust me, it is. Even I learned a lot, even after attending all these classes. I've watched it 3 or 4 times and I've picked up several tidbits from him. Northern Lights, Ed Taylor. Oh, by the way, Cunningham, Shooter, Santa, Ed Taylor. they're all have been inducted into the Santa Claus Hall of Fame. Yes, it exists. It's in Indiana. Look it up. So, what kind of jobs do we have? Malls, corporate events, private parties, home visits, commercial television. Those are ones people really like, but they're very, very difficult to get. You gotta audition for it, and 9 times out of 10, you are not going to get it. Tree lightings, virtual events, those were very popular during COVID, but not necessarily now, although if you're shut in, that's not bad. I have yet to see the Amish support Santa, though. So, decision that we had to make. Do I go to the mall or do I do freelance? Ooh, $75 an hour sitting in a chair. Are you guys ready to do that for 10 plus hours for 30 plus days? Any volunteers? No volunteers, okay. I didn't think so. Freelance, anywhere from 1 to 10 plus hours a day. And yes, it can go as early as 9. I've had one that was starting at 8. You had to be there at 8 because they opened at 9. And they ran until about 6. I ran that day, we went until what, 6, 7, 8 o'clock that night? 8 o'clock. But it was very nice, especially since they paid us what we wanted. I'll just leave this up for a minute. You can go read it. Or I guess I could read it to you. Garfield's walking across. I love summer. But it's not as much as I love. Some things don't fit. Let's see. What is this? Can't make it out anyway. Snowmen, yes. By the way, if you watched Red One, the secret to snowmen, get rid of their carrot nose. Sledding, ice fishing, and of course, Santa at the bottom. Yes, there is a Santa during the summer. We have Christmas in July, people. That's the last end of June, first week or so of July. And then, of course, the holiday season. Photographs usually September through November. Then actual performance mid-November through Christmas or 12th night sometimes. Depends on who's doing it and what they want. But actually, let's look at the calendar. Almost all of our events are Saturdays. They're almost all booked. And I run some statistics from last year. You all love statistics, right? Let's go to the charts. You have the congressional calendar. Look at this. Non-working, December 21 through 5 January. And in this area, we all live and die by the congressional calendar. People leave, they don't work. Oh, wait a minute, they're not working anyway. Does anybody even know when Congress is gonna say yes and put everybody back to work? So last year, we actually got a request in January because they loved us. June, we had a couple. July, we had a couple. August, they start picking up. But notice, November. How many we got over there? 145 in November. I remember, December, we've only got 3 or 4 days. We've only got 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Most requested days. Anybody notice anything about these days right off the top? Look there. Boom. December 8th. And let's see, I think that was the 14th, maybe the 15th. So what day do you think is the most requested days? The day of the week, which is the most requested? Any ideas? You're right. Some on Fridays, Saturday, and some on Sundays, the weekends. That's great for us, except there's only so many we can go. Actual days, not that many. 4 Saturdays and Sundays from Thanksgiving to Christmas, and thankfully Christmas falls on a weekday this time, so we might get some extra days. As for our business model, this probably says it all. For those of you who can't read it, it says, your business model simply isn't sustainable. Well, think about it. So let's go back here. Project or program. We have different days. We have performances. On one day, they have a definite start and end date. That falls under projects and defined objectives and deliverables. Yep. Every engagement. They want us to do something. Programs. Coordinated manner and focus on delivering benefits over time, ongoing activities. Oh, yes. Let's go look at these. Okay, there we go. So, costumes, accessories, it's definitely programs because I don't wear the same costume every day and every performance, but we do have them. Maintenance costs, cleaning, and oh, how many times do I want at the end of the season thank you, it's over. Oh, wait a minute. You want me to do what? When? Christmas Day? No. You know, it's my Christmas too, but if you're going to pay me an outrageous sum of money, I'll be glad to do it. So, what do we have? Performance agreements, schedule, date, time, location. I got travel, parking, tolls. What the customer wants versus what I want, and what I'm willing to do. No, ladies, I do not do a striptease. Probably find it disgusting anyway. Cost revenue, singing stories, things like that. I can carry a tune if you have me a bucket, please. Actually, you do pretty good jingle bells. Speaking of jingle bells, we were doing a, what was it? Oh, preschool. And we're all singing jingle bells and all the kids are doing it. And this kid comes over to me and says, Santa, I don't know the words. Okay. Just sing along in the chorus. You know the chorus. No. Okay. Sing along with me. Jingle bells, my feet don't smell. Oh, I can just hear him telling everybody that's what Santa told me it is. So, character performance. You got to be in all the time. When I'm on stage, it's Santa 120% or 200% of the time. We were walking through a mall over here at Montgomery Mall. This was in mid-January, if I remember right. Walking through, and this girl's sitting with her parents. She leans over and looks at me and says, Santa. Santa mode. Turn around and I look at her and shh, we're here looking. Oh, Santa, why are you here? We're checking to see if you were still on the nice list. And well, you got everything for Christmas that you wanted. Oh, yes, I did, Santa. Great. Are you on the nice list? Mrs. Claus looked at her and said, yes, I think she shot up 6 feet off the ground. So, lessons learned on each program, each project. We do this all the time. Repairs, checking material, making sure things, what worked and what didn't. So, what's the future? Artificial intelligence. Well, the big thing is the performance economy. When it's down, they don't want to have Santa. When it's up, they want to have Santa. Oh my goodness. So, Mrs. Claus used AI to take this picture of me getting ready to go into one of our house visits. I don't know about you, but I think the second one looks better. So let's go back again. All right, show of hands. Project or program? Project? Program? Okay, I'll go along with that. I think I've made my case. No, we don't do that yet. I am trying. Maintenance is there. It's something. So yeah, I agree with you. It's a program. We have the same people, overarching ground, focused on delivering benefits, multiple engagements. Yep, I think definitely program. I'm sorry, what? Ooh. You know, she's in charge of the North Pole, so I guess that falls under her purview. Let me tell you. No, Santa, you can't wear that right now because it's not looking good. No, you got to wear it. No. What about this? What about that? I actually book the stuff and make sure we are all done, but she's there to keep track of me. So I'd say, yeah, we were a partnership, more or less. So for those of you who, I don't know if you can see this or not, Garfield, he's looking at Garfield. Santa watches you all year long. Oops. Thanks for ruining my summer, Santa. Blues, baby blues, I think it is. Screaming. Do you think this is the kind of behavior Santa wants to see? And they all shut up. Well, I didn't think of that in June. Ladies, those of you with kids or grandkids. So, what are we all about? We are the Potomac Clauses. We create magical Christmas memories. Oh, we try to bring the good times back to what you remember as a good time. Ah, that's what we want. Bliss. We will try to do everything we can to make your holiday memorable. Memorable. Not memorial, memorable. So, top up questions? Go ahead. I saw somebody raise their hand back there. Or was it a... Okay, if I heard you correctly, what you're asking is what have been some of our more memorable locations? Yeah. Um, University Club, Army Navy Country Club, um, Neiman Marcus, Ritz, Carlton, Nordstrom's. Oh, yes, that was a great one. The residence of the Colombian ambassador in DuPont Circle. They had a big party, and we did the Macarena for them, and I think we got them up and talking and got them dancing. Trust me. Uh, Anything else? No? I would expect at least one or two more. How do I stay cool? Well, normally I'm cool anyway. I mean, Santa's a cool dude, right? um, I have something called a cool pack that fits on my back. Yeah, it fits across the lower back, and it's basically, if you're familiar with the blue ice thing, same sort of thing, only it's not as cold. And of course, my body heat then warms it up, and by the time a couple of hours or later, I take a break and swap out the cool pack. So let's see, what else? I think that's it. Uh, let's go for a cruise, kid. Anything else? Oh, yeah, go ahead. Okay, the question was, do we get asked about the elf on the shelf? Yes. My response to the elf on the shelf is the kids will come along and say, "What's the name of your elf?" Their elf, not my elf, but their elf. And I look at them and I say, "Well, let's see, you're here. Okay, if I remember correctly, you are elf X9247839 Z21." And they're going, "No, it's Susie or Jamie or whatever the hell they called it." And I go, "Yes, that's what you named it. But I have millions of elves out there, and all these elves are scouting you. So I've got to have a different number and an identification number, and that's what I use." "Oh, but you can keep calling them whatever, you know." So that usually shuts them up. Any other questions? Oh, yeah, go ahead. Oh, continuity plan when I'm sick? Well, I try not to be sick. We take all our shots. Um, and although a couple of years ago I was sick, fortunately I had only booked a couple of events. So, I mean, it wasn't that bad and I had to give the money back, but deposit back. But very limited that year. Anything else? Any? Oh, yeah, yeah. For those of you that are interested, um, there is an organization called International Brotherhood of Rio Bearded Santas, which I am a member of. And there is the organization has a chapter here called Colonial Santas, and they have a Facebook page. Um, you can always do something, and they will, if you are desperate for a Santa, we might be able to find you one, but it's very difficult, especially this time of the year. Okay, any others?
Last question.
Go ahead. What's my favorite Santa themed movie? Well, I originally started with the Miracle on 34th Street. Remember that one? No, I got a couple of trivia questions for you on that. But I've watched almost all of them. I haven't seen the Chronicles yet. I need to see that one. But got a couple of quick questions. Can anybody, I will ask and see if anybody can answer them. You will get a special coin. Anybody know when the scenes, go ahead. You gonna pop that up? Okay. Remember the opening scene where he's on the sleigh ride and he's got the parade? When was this film? When was it? When was it filmed? Anybody? No guesses? I'm sorry, what'd you say? No. You're close. No, you're close. Correct. Here you go. Don't lose it. Okay. Who played Susan? Oh, come on, you guys. Who? Back there. You don't want it? You got to come up and get it. Okay, when was the film released? When in 1947?
Summertime.
Close. Nope. June. How many times was he Macy's Santa? Anybody? Wrong. 5 times. Come on. Once at Macy's. Now, I do have a toss-up question. Go ahead. How old is Santa? Does anybody remember? Just wait a minute. Come on. Anybody? He wrote it down on his card, employment card. Does anybody remember what he wrote down? No. Go ahead and pop it up. Older than my teeth, younger than my tongue. So, well, that's good. I saved a few of these.
Okay.
So I got another top-up question. Anybody can guess? When Gwen played Santa during the movie, and he was doing the sets and everything, did people think he was really Santa? I hear mixed reviews. Natalie Wood thought he was the real Santa until she learned later. How about that? And several people on the set thought he was the real Santa too. That's how good he was. All right.
Okay,
Thank you all.
round of applause for Mr. Okay, and Mr. and Mrs. Claus will suit back up and take pictures next to the PMI banner if anybody wants to hold it for their December Christmas card. We know everyone doesn't celebrate Christmas, but I think the spirit of Santa and giving our future leaders something to believe in is universal. So we appreciate those who don't celebrate the traditional nostalgia of Christmas being here tonight and online. Mr. Rice's words were strong, but I think that he's on the front lines of the hunger crisis in the county, so he's seeing it. So we appreciate everyone who brought items today. By by the time I was done putting everything in the car, I had a good sweat going on. So you put me to work, and we'll continue to promote Manna and partnership in our newsletter. I think next year we'll even have like a PMI Montgomery County volunteer day at the food center. So we appreciate all of you for being members. Best deal in town, $20 annual dues for a $70 dinner. So thank you, Jim.
What to bring for the next?
Oh, yep. Great reminder, and I'm surprised Santa didn't bring it up, but the holiday toy drive and clothing drive, which will go to Montgomery County's Toys for Tots and Family Services, will be next month. So in exchange for a 3-course meal, a $10 dinner, and bring a toy or a winter coat, that would be great. And we'll communicate that in the newsletter as well. We wouldn't be here without our members. It was great to have a good room, drive safe, continue to promote our chapter. Half of our board is furloughed right now, so we understand October 1st. I was like, I can put the 10 hours a day with the commute and at my desk into PMI, but mentally it has a weight on it. So we understand from a furloughed perspective, stay positive, depend on your network of A-teamers to get through this, and hopefully everybody will be back to work across the federal sphere in the next week or two, and we'll march towards a positive holiday season. So thank you again. Have a good night.